So myself and my team at my agency, Hayes, we generate tens of millions of dollars every year for our clients on Klaviyo. And when I'm auditing the accounts of potential clients and different brands, the one thing that I see the most that these brands don't have in place is the flows. They either don't have the right flows, they don't have all of the ones that they should have in place, or maybe they do, but they're not optimizing those flows for maximum revenue. So what I want to do in today's video is I want to show you 7 core flows that we set up for all of our clients, and they're like the non-negotiable flows, right? I do go over some bonus flows on top of those, which are optional and you can implement. Sometimes we do them. But what I'll do in this video is explain the flows, show you what they're for, explain the content that we're using, how many emails per flow, what each email is for. And by doing this and implementing these flows, you will start to see improvements to the revenue generated through email marketing, right? And you can optimize the flows from there. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video. I hope you find this helpful. I hope you find this valuable and you can apply this to your own brand. All right, so let's dive in. All right, so let's talk about email marketing flows. So flows are the automated email drip sequences that get sent out to recipients based on certain actions they've taken. And there's 7 main flows that we set up for our clients. Those are, number 1, the welcome flow. Number 2, browse abandonment. Number 3, abandoned cart. Number 4, abandoned checkout. Number 5, post-purchase. Number 6, win-back flow. And number 7, sunset flow. And additional flows that you can set up include viewed product abandonment, the VIP customer flow, the product review request, the loyalty program, refer a friend flow. All right, so in this video, we're gonna go through each one of these flows. I'm gonna explain their use case. I'm gonna explain some best practices. So let's do it. Start off with, we're gonna do the welcome flow. So this is the most common. It's sent to those who have signed up to your email list, usually through a pop-up on the website, and it excludes those that have purchased. Here's what to include. Email 1, the goal is just to give the recipient what they signed up for, right? This is usually a discount code. You want to put the discount code front and center, above the fold, make it clear, the CTA button underneath it, and include the text below the button. Discount automatically applies at checkout when you click this button. There's a way that you can append the discount code into the link that you use in Klaviyo. That means when they click that and go to your website, when they go to the checkout, the discount code is applied. So Klaviyo will have some sort of documentation on that. If you're not using Klaviyo, this probably is possible to do that, inside whatever email marketing service provider you're using. So yeah, really email 1, you just want to give the customer what they came for, right? You don't want to make it hard for them to search it. Just give them what they came for. Email 2 is when you can do a little bit more of the brand story. So usually a founder story of how the brand came to be and why it exists. It's a reminder of a discount code as well, or / what they signed up for at the end of the email. And a plain text email can work really well here. We've seen this work well. We do a plain text email from the founder. It looks very personal, and yeah, it always gets really, really good engagement. Email 3 is, again, discount / what they signed up for, reminder, key benefits, social proof using customer reviews and or press logos. And you can also add urgency around the discount code expiring at this point. Email 4, you want to answer more objections, like if someone hasn't purchased at this point, why is that? Address those objections, explain more of the features and benefits of the product, and explain your guarantee or your risk reversal. And email 5 onwards is usually one of either a quiz, where you're directing them to a quiz, you're doing Mythbusters, right? So you're talking about common myths and you're explaining how those are not myths, or more product features and benefits. And we like to have a maximum of 8 emails in this flow. More emails are generally used for higher priced products where the consideration period is longer. If you have like a lower AOV, let's say below $200, I think 6 would probably be the max. Again, like the data will tell you. So if you do have a lot more emails, just see is the drop-off happening, like where's the drop-off happening, right? With open rates, click rates, placed orders, if you start to see maybe after email 5, that just drops off significantly, the first thing you could do is swap out email 6 to a different type of email that you think will get more engagement and test it. But if you just find that no matter what you test, email 6, you're just not getting the traction that you need, I think it's best to save that email rather than sending it as another touch point for the customer. Just save it and just reduce the flow. So that's just one example. And it goes the other way as well, right? If you see that you have 6 emails and the 6th email, the engagement is still really good at a 7th, right? These are just indicators that you can test with. So that's the welcome flow. The browse abandonment flow is sent to those who have visited your website but have not added to cart or completed any action further than adding to cart. So what to include in this email? Email 1, the objective is just to get them back to the website to continue browsing. And it's usually a short email with something like, saw you checking us out, and it's a desirable photo, and then just a button for them to go back and continue browsing. And we typically only have one email in this flow. If we see really good opens and clicks for email 1, we will test adding a second email that is sent just a few days later that handles objections and offers customer support if they have any questions. Okay, so that's the browse abandonment. The abandoned cart is not to be mistaken with abandoned checkout. So by default, a lot of brands, when we do audits, we see that they only have abandoned checkout, and the abandoned checkout flow is actually called abandoned cart, which is incorrect. So the abandoned cart flow is sent to those who have added to cart but not started checkout or completed any action further than started checkout. And to be able to set up this flow, the added to cart metric needs to be installed on your website to trigger this action. So Klaviyo have their own guide on how to install this. It's just a little snippet of code that's added to the product pages. And then once someone clicks the add to cart button, the added to cart metric is fired. And then people who do that will be populated into this flow. So what to include in this in this flow, email 1, objective is to get them back to their cart to complete the purchase. And we found that a simple headline, a dynamic block that shows what's in their cart, and then a button to go back to their cart works really well here. Email 2 is another reminder that they've left something in their cart. This time, adding some urgency around how long you can hold their cart for before you need to clear it. An optional email 3 if you see strong metrics, answer objections, customer support, flexible payment options, affirm, Klarna, etc. Anything that you think will help them just make the purchase, right? You want to move them closer to that. Up next, we have the abandoned checkout. So this is sent to those people who have started checkout, but they haven't purchased. And it's much, much higher intent than abandoned cart. We see a lot better performance in this flow compared to abandoned cart, a lot more revenue. We also get more recipients coming through this. But yeah, this is obviously much, much higher intent. And the structure of this flow is very, very similar to the abandoned cart, because even though it's much higher intent, the objective is still to get them back to the checkout to purchase, right? So email 1, objective is to get them back to the checkout to complete the purchase. We found that a simple headline, a dynamic block showing what's in their cart, and a button to go back to checkout works really well here. So the same as abandoned cart, right? It's just a reminder. The first one, reminder, hey, you forgot something. Hey, complete your purchase, something along those lines. Email 2 is another reminder that they're really close to making a great decision by purchasing. You want to reinforce key benefits. You want to reinforce, the decision they're making and why it's a good decision. Okay, maybe they're stalling on it, maybe they're, not sure. This is really where you can drive home that, right? Talk about key benefits, problem solution messaging, before and afters, customer stories, anything that you think will help them in that purchase process. And then optional email 3, again, if you see strong metrics, where you can continue to answer objections, talk about your customer support, talk about your flexible payment options, guarantees, risk reversal, free returns, free shipping, all those things, all right? So the post-purchase, this is sent to those who have made a purchase. And sometimes what we will do is we will create different post-purchases for someone who is a new customer versus someone who is a repeat purchase customer. It also depends on the product, right? If you have one product where maybe the post-purchase experience needs to be a certain way, and then all your other products are more general, then you also want to separate those out. So email 1 in the post-purchase is immediately sent out as a confirmation email, and you want to start setting expectations of what's coming next, either in numbered steps or as a visual. It just helps to have some sort of easy way for the customer to understand, like, what are the next steps here, right? You want to reduce buyer's remorse as much as possible, and you want to give the customer information on shipping times, shipping tracking, what to expect when they receive the product. Get them excited, right? This email is where you have their, the height of their retention, right? They've just spent money with you. You send this email to them automatically, you're going to get super, super high open rates. So make sure you make that count. And then finally, you can add in some cross-sells of other products they can add to their order. These usually come below, further down in the email, and you want to add some time sensitivity. You want to make them time sensitive with urgency, right? So this is just a great place to add in some AOV boosting opportunities through cross-sells, upsells, etc. Email 2, you want to give them more information about the product and what they're about to experience to keep them excited. So there's a time when someone places an order and when they're waiting for the product and when they receive it. And the time in between, is kind of like some people, they kind of forget, right? But other customers, especially if it's like a purchase where they're very emotionally attached, or they really need the outcome like now, right? It's a big problem that they need to solve now, or it's a purchase where they've spent a lot of money. For those reasons, or maybe it's a gift, or they want to receive it in time for a specific holiday or event, then they're really going to be watching the shipping times because they want that product now, right? So to kind of tie that bridge over between them ordering and receiving the product, you just want to keep a line of contact, right? And we use this as an opportunity to get them excited, right? Keep the excitement high, and just reassure them that the product is on its way. Maybe you can give some more instructions on how to like access the tracking for their shipment, right? Just anything that you think would do well in tying that bridge. Email 3 is usually sent out after the customer has received the product and has had the time to use it. And this can be a review request email, or this can be put in a separate flow, up to you. Or it could be another upsell opportunity, and this can also be separated out into its own flow, right? If you just want maybe a little bit more clarity and metrics, then yeah, completely fine, separate those out. Email 4 is anything else that can help them with their purchase. For example, how to care for the product, do's and don'ts, maybe the warranty around the product, all those things, right? So the win back flow, this is sent to those who've made a purchase but have not made another purchase for a specific period of time. And this is usually only for brands where the product can be repeat purchased, or there are other products on the store to purchase, right? Because otherwise, if they can only really purchase from you once and not again, this wouldn't really have its place. The time frame is usually 60 to 90 days, but it depends on how long it takes for the customer to consume your product. If you're selling consumables, right, you might have a product that maybe they purchase it and it's going to last them 90 days, right? So they're not going to make a purchase for 90 days for the same product, right? Alternatively, it can, like, you will also want to make sure it's an appropriate time frame to make another purchase, right? Again, depending on your products. But if someone has just made a big purchase, like a few $1,000s, then yeah, you might want to wait a little bit longer for this time period in the win back flow, right? What to include? Email 1 is the win back, right? So you want to win back the customer by offering an incentive to make another purchase. This can be in the form of an exclusive discount, getting entered into a giveaway, etc. And you want to make sure to add urgency around the incentive. Email 2 is just a reminder, right? Reminder of the incentive, reminder of the urgency, that it's expiring, that they're not going to be able to use this forever, all right? Sunset flow. So this is sent to those who have not engaged with your email campaigns for a specified period of time, and engaged means they have not opened or clicked an email. The time frame is usually 120 days here. Again, some is test with, but we usually see that if they haven't engaged in the 120 day mark, probably a good idea to start, sunset the flow and see if you can get them back, right? So email 1 in this series is the breakup email. You ask them if they're still interested in hearing from you. Depending on your branded messaging, you can make this very fun and playful. You want to add something that will incentivize them to want to hear from you, right? So maybe getting first dibs on new product launches, getting email subscriber exclusive promotions, early access to sales, etc. You want to use this as your chance to say, look, we've potentially lost a subscriber. What can we do to try and get them back into an engaged state, all right? So other flows that I mentioned earlier that you can add as well. First of all, you have the viewed product abandonment. And this is sent to those who have viewed a product on your website but not added to cart, or they haven't completed any step that comes after adding to cart. And this is the action after browse, right? So you have browse, viewed product, added to cart, started checkout, completed purchase, all right? We don't build this flow because we believe it to be overkill, right? There's too many emails for the recipient, but if you do want to do it, email 1 technically should show them the product that they were viewing and just invite them back to continue shopping. You have the button there that's very easy for them to click and see, and you want to include information around customer support. The VIP customer flow is sent to those customers who have purchased more than a certain number of times, or those customers who have spent over a certain monetary amount. And this flow is used to reward customer loyalty. So what to include here, email 1 is thank them for their loyalty and support, and in return for this, offer them an exclusive discount, offer them an exclusive brand experience, insight into what's coming next for the brand, or anything else that can strengthen the relationship that they have with your brand. And a lot of the time, it doesn't need to be a discount code. Like, these people love your brand. They're purchasing multiple times. They're spending a lot of money with you. A lot of them just value knowing what's coming next for the brand, right? Just get them excited. And the more you can build the connection between them and the brand, the longer they'll continue to purchase from you, the more they'll tell their friends and family members how great your brand is. You know, that word of mouth is priceless, right? You want that on your side. So you can be strategic about this and make sure that involve these customers, involve your VIP, your most loyal customers in the process of building and expanding your brand. Maybe get them involved in, hey, like we're thinking of new products to launch, new colors, new flavors. You know, we want your feedback. And in the future, I'm going to create some videos around building communities for retention. And this ties in a lot with that as well, because these customers are super, super valuable, and you want to make sure that you treat them in a way that they feel valued, but get them excited, right? Keep them excited about the brand. Email 2 is just a reminder of the offer that you sent them in the first email with some urgency, if you like, right? Doesn't need to be super, super urgent. But yeah, that's usually the structure we use for the VIP customer flow. Then you have the product review request. So this is just separating out the review request. It's sent to customers who have received the product, requesting a review to be published on your website. This is usually triggered through like a review app, such as Okendo. And what's included here, email 1 is just asking them if they're enjoying their purchase and if they'd be open to leaving a review. You usually do not have to provide an incentive for the customer to leave a review, and they should be happy to do so if the product met their expectations. Email 2, so we kind of split this out. Email 2 has submitted written-only review. We want to encourage the customer to add a photo or video to their review. And email 2, for those who have not submitted a review, you want to remind them of submitting a review and tell them how their review will help other people discover your product and benefit them, right? So that is a product review. And then we have the loyalty program / refer a friend. If you have a loyalty program or referral program set up, you usually need an email flow to introduce that program to existing customers and then encourage them to sign up and participate. And the service used for each of these program types will usually have their own way of setting this up. So you might want to just confirm with them, like, you know, what should you be doing? But yeah, that is usually how that works. So those are all the different flows that we recommend, that we tend to set up, and some additional ones. Yeah, hope this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.